do like that music very, very much. A very good morning to you, boys and girls. It's Saturday, the 14th of March, 2020. Good morning and welcome to this morning's United Kingdom Talk. I'm feeling a little bit better this morning. I've got to say, perhaps you can see it in my cheerful, gleeful face. Yes, we can't do shows while we're ill, dear. Not while we're at death's door. I haven't been at death's door. I have not been at death's door. Just lacking in power, really. That's all it was. What's the day like? I don't know. It's sunny. There's always another 1 minute. We seem to have quite a few trees that are starting to lean over one way. I noticed the other day, I'm surrounded here by the pine trees. Can you see them on there? No, it's a little bit whited out. It's a bit too bright out there for you to be able to see that. But surrounded by pine trees here. And they have been round now a couple of times this year already, chopping down ones that are leaning so far over that they look like they're about to fall down. But sometimes they leave them for ages. They don't appear to fall down. And in all these winds that we've had, we haven't sort of lost it. Oh, no, we have. We lost one tree and it kind of snapped halfway up. Looks like it was rotten anyway. A little bit like myself, darling. You know, I'm frightened of the winds. Slight bit of wind and I'm likely to snap in half. Awful. So not too bad today. It's a little bit cloudy out there. I ended up going for 3 walks yesterday. 3 walks. I wanted, because I've been in the house for like 3 days now, and not doing... I've got a garden, so I can go outside if I wanted, but I just didn't want to do anything. I was just laying there on this blooming chair, unable to get comfortable, and then the settee, unable to get comfortable, and in the bed, unable to get comfortable. You know how it is. And I thought I must do some exercise, because I really think, you know, the very fact of not moving around doesn't help. Moving around is very, very important. As well as the eating properly and all that business, you've got to be doing something. And you need to find what it is that you like. In my case, it's walking. Cycling I used to love, but I do get a bit of a pain in my knees sometimes. And swimming, they're my things. Other people, girls and boys, go to the gym. They love the gym. Bores me to tears, Jim. Oh, my God. I wondered where you'd been. A £4.99 super chat coming in live from Armenia. Thank you, Armenian friend, Dr. Gregorian. Thank you very much for that. That's a nice early little present from me this morning. Thank you very much to you. Thank you, sir. Yeah, so I think moving around is a pretty important thing. So yesterday, after the show, yesterday morning, I managed to go out for about 20 minutes. I just walked down to Aldi and back, and I popped into Aldi. I bought a couple of bits and pieces. I looked at people's shopping baskets and things like that. I wouldn't say they were panic buying. You know, there weren't like people with 200 cans of baked beans and stuff like that. I didn't see that. However, that being said, it was busy in there, and there were some shopping trolleys chock-a-block with stuff, you know, full up shopping trolleys, which you don't normally see in there sort of late Friday morning, early is it what is the day today? Saturday, late Friday morning, sort of early Friday afternoon. So that was busier. I just went in, I think about 4 bits, 3 or 4 or 5 bits and a little basket. Trouble is in that Aldi, you know, no one, it happens in Waitrose. I've got to tell you, it happens in Waitrose. If there's a large trolley in front of you, they look back and they see you've got 3 items. Oh, do you want to go in front of me? Oh, yeah, thank you very much. You know, I've let people in like that before. Doesn't happen in Aldi. No one lets you in front of you. Thanks very much for your messages. I'll come to those in a moment, boys and girls. No one lets you in front of you. Just a moment. I get a little blow off the nose. 1 moment, please. Do you like my loud nose blowing? I'm very well known for loud nose blowing. And the other thing that happens in Aldi, you know, when they open another checkout, and they're pretty good at when the queue builds up, they seem to open another checkout. Another checkout is about to open. At that point, you would think the queue would move over in the order that it's in. No. Awful people scrambling to get to that blooming empty checkout as rapidly as possible. And they, you know, if you're in front of them and you move out, but they've got there first, they won't let you go. No, they got there first. They're awful customers in Aldi. Dreadful people. They need to have They need to have a different days for different sorts of customers in Aldi, I think. I'm going to write to the German Prime Minister, assuming that he hasn't got the virus at the moment and self-isolating. You know, I'm going to have to write to the German Prime Minister, because it's a German company, and recommend that he has a couple of days for scummy type people like what were in there yesterday. You know, walking around with the dirty old clothes and just, you know, it's me and no one else. You know, those sort of people. Won't give way to anyone, won't move out the way. You know, excuse me. And they touch, don't they? Excuse me, can I? Like that. And then when they're in the queue, right, you might, of course, the queues, if they're far back, you need to go across a queue. And they don't move out the way. They don't move out the way. Awful customers in Aldi. They're the worst people in there. Worst. Not all of them. I mean, look at me. You would want me to be an Aldi shopper. You would. A perfect Aldi. The staff are lovely in there. I know all the staff in there now. You know, they don't have time to talk. They're very well paid, actually. Mandy, she's... you don't muck around with Mandy. She's got like this bleach blonde hair. She's about 50, 52, I suppose. And she's got these thick-rimmed glasses on. And if she's not happy, she will say something. I've watched her once. You know that red thing? You know those things they put down for next customer in between the shopping? What's that called? You know those little pole things? I don't know what they are, like triangular things. And you pick one up when you've got to the end of your shopping. You put that behind your shopping. And then that allows the next person to put their shopping on, so that when the cashier gets to the end, and oh, that's the end of your shopping. Thank you very much. £10. And again, you know, yesterday I got Adma shopping, and I had £20 in my hand, and I had a carrier bag full of shopping. It wasn't actually 4 items. I had a carrier bag full of shopping. I had £20 in my hands, and I'm looking. Well, I've got a bit of cheese there. Oh, I've done £20. I'm going to have enough money here, right? I pushed a button. Thank you very much. That's £8.13, please. And it's the only place I can guarantee you're very unlikely to ever get to the till and not have enough money. Really. It's absolutely fantastic. Anyway, if Mandy doesn't like something, she will tell you. And I saw once there was a red... You know, they after that thing that they put, next customer here, but they put in between the shopping, they've got a red one as well. And the red one says, this checkout is closing. And there was a red one there. And this bloke came along. And he obviously hasn't seen the red thing there. So he's put his shopper. He starts unloading his shop. Excuse me. Oh, she's not having any of that, mate. Oh, I've only got... No, I'm sorry, this is closed. Can you move along, sir, please? Can you please move along? Thank you, sir. If you could move along, please. This one's closed. That's why the sign's there. You don't muck around with Mandy. But I like those sort of people. I do quite like those sort of people you don't muck around with, you know. They just tell you how it is straight. So that was Aldi yesterday. And I walked down there. Then I came home. Oh no, that was it. I walked down to the post office as well because I had to post off some hats because Rachel bought a white hat. We got white and black hats now as well. White ones, black ones. There we are. There's only a couple of white ones. They're the black ones. You can have one of those. Now, there's 2 ways of paying these now. You can either have the cheap way of doing it by PayPal. Hang on a minute. Let me find that. Where's the PayPal button on here? There it is. There's the PayPal button on there. Okay. Now, PayPal, £10. Okay. Super Chat, 13. That's just how it works because YouTube take a load of money. So I found a way of making things cheaper. PayPal, cost you £10 one of those if you want one. All right. Let me know that you're going to do it, those, because I have to keep an eye out for that. Okay. Oh, Dr. Gregorian, you're too late for yesterday's raffle ticket, I'm afraid. Sent this morning at 11:25. Bit late for yesterday, mate. Sorry. You can only claim your raffle ticket up to 1 hour before the show starts. So you're too late for yesterday's, I'm afraid. Sorry about that, Dr. Gregorian. Got to keep rules the same for everyone, no matter how much cash you're sending in. All right? There you go. And what else is there? We got the clocks. They're a little bit pricey, though. You know. We got the clocks. £25 super chat, 25 PayPal, 35 Super Chat. Very expensive on the Super Chat. Bearing in mind you can get a clock off the eBay for like £3. It's just what they cost to make. They're not particularly expensive to make, but they're more expensive to make than it would be to buy something without all that business on it. Okay? So £25 on a PayPal, 35 on a Super Chat. And we've got bags as well now. Bags. There you go. Bags. Just imagine the look on your friends' faces when you see them walking around with one of these tote bags. They're thin, but they seem to be quite strong. They're quite well made. They are thin, all right? Won't lie to you. They're not great big thick bags. And again, these are £10 on PayPal and £13 on the Super Chat, all right? So they're just a few bits and pieces that we've got available at the moment. So, yes, I posted off the hats to Rachel yesterday and T-shirts to a T-shirt to Trevor, which I think Mick Davenport bought him. I think that was right there. Went to Audi. What else? And that was it. There we are. And came back here. Came back here with an email from the Disney people where we're supposed to be going on holiday on Monday. It's now been cancelled by Disney. So that's good news. And we're just lucky enough to get in there as they cancelled because had I have cancelled, which actually the children wouldn't have, they still would have gone. But if I'd have not gone and decided, well, I'm not going, I would have just lost the money. As it's happening, I will now be getting a full refund. Minus, I think, £10 booking fee or something like that. I can't remember what it was now. There's always some sort of small booking fee in there, isn't there? So I had an email from Magic Breaks telling me, we're very sorry to tell you that the Disney has closed, will be closing on Monday. Therefore, we're having to cancel your holiday. We'll be in contact with you in due course. Now, the name of the what would you call it now? The name of the travel company to do with Disney was called Magic Breaks. And they've been extremely good. I went on the website and there was basically the same message as I had via an email, actually. Same sort of message there. And it said that they'd contact me and not to worry about doing anything. They'd be dealing with us in date order. Well, we were going on Mondays. I thought, well, that won't be too long then. So that was in the afternoon. And then in the evening, after my little nap, it was about 7:15 actually. At 7:15 at night, the phone rang, and it was indeed the Magic Break people who said, "Would you like to go at another time? We can rebook you on the same deal you've got now, or you can book afterwards on a different deal depending on what that is." And unfortunately, whereas my niece and that are like on a military detachment, so they don't know when they can come back again. So we've elected to go for a full refund. So that should drop into my account, I don't know, next 14 days or something like that. So that's fair enough, isn't it? And she was ever so nice on the phone. And it's not the first time that we've had problems with the holiday. The first time was, of course, when Thomas Cook went down, because I went into Thomas Cook. Incorrect. I booked this through Thomas Cook on the internet. So we thought that had all gone wrong. But no, Magic Breaks at that point contacted us and said not to worry about anything. We've got the holiday all sussed. Don't worry about the Thomas Cook thing. Your holiday will still be going ahead. So it's not the first time that this has happened. But on both occasions, they have been fantastic. I've got to tell you. And I said this to her on the phone. She wasn't rushed at all. She'd been there. I think she rang me at 7:15 at night. She'd been there since 8 o'clock in the morning, apparently. They've got so many people to deal with. You just imagine, there can't be that many people in there, and I've got to ring every single person. She wasn't rushed on the phone or anything like that. And I said, I've got to tell you, your company is absolutely brilliant. When this is the second time you've had a big problem here, and on both occasions you treated us. She said, thank you very much for telling us that. It's a shame so many people aren't understanding like you. I said, what do you mean? She said, what time did you get the email? I said, well, this morning, I think around about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, something like that. She said, yes. She said, and now it's like 7:15. I said, well, yeah, I understand you'll be really busy with people. And she said, but everyone doesn't think like that. They get an email and they don't understand why they haven't had a phone call 20 minutes later. You know what people are like? It's like people, they're blooming prizes on here. Or the super chat things. Isn't it? You know, they win something on Sunday night, And then Monday morning, they're on the chat boat. Oh, haven't received my thing yet. Patience, dear. Want so quickly all the time. Bit of patience, dear. I have patience with this sort of thing. I understand that there's millions of people waiting, and I'm not me next. No, wait in the bleeding queue. It's like the karaoke singers. Me next. I want to go next. Please put me next. No. Don't care how young and pretty you are. Wait in the queue. And that's it. Rude people. So that's all in order now. There was a little bit of an issue with the Eurostar tickets because I got an email as well from Eurostar, and that said that the Eurostar ticket said that I could claim the ticket back from them. Well, I booked the Eurostar through Magic Breaks, so I mentioned this to her because I'd already got that as well. And she says, do you know what? I'm not sure. She said, I would have thought we'd have to get that for you because we will get it at a different rate. You know, big company, they would get it a lot cheaper, presumably, than I would have had to pay as a personal thing to Eurostar. I said, well, should I claim with that or not? She says, do you know, she said, I can't give you the answer to that. She said, I don't know. She said, I would presume that we have to get that back for you. Okay. So shall I reply to it or not? Because, you know, it might be time limited. If we're going on Monday and you don't claim it back by Monday, do you see what I mean? And I'm like, oh, I don't know what to do. Anyway, so I come off the phone to her and I claimed anyway, because you can guarantee they'll notice if there's two lots going out, won't they? So they won't send one lot. So I thought it was better to just claim and be done with it. So that's the Magic Breaks thing there. Of course, my niece and her family are over from Cyprus at the moment. They're staying with my sister, and a bit disappointing for the children and that. I mean, to be a small person and have your holiday sort of plans ruined by something that they wouldn't really understand, and something so small, a blooming virus. I said this yesterday. You know, 4 weeks ago there was nothing. You know, this tiny little thing, you can't even see it with your human eye, has caused so much disruption, hasn't it? You know, we often think of wars and nuclear bombs and terrible earthquakes and hurricanes and things like that, which you can see. But nothing has done as much damage as this tiny little thing that you cannot see, that has got people worried all over the world, including me. I'm one of those. And it's not just that, is it? It's all the people that are going to lose their jobs, the people on planes, the people at holiday destinations. I mean, there's a story here. Jet2 turned its planes around yesterday on the way to Spain. Spain is another one of those countries affected. A couple of papers carry this. This is the Sun's version. Jet2, it's today. Yesterday. Jet2 today cancelled all flights to Spain amid the coronavirus crisis, with planes forced to turn around mid-air. At least 5 flights heading to Spain from the UK did a U-turn this morning as the measures were brought in with immediate effect. I mean, can you just imagine that? And there's like, I don't know if any of you use any of those little apps where you can follow the planes. My sister uses those. When one of the family goes on holiday, she likes to have the plane number, and she follows it on this little map thing, and it shows you a picture of the plane flying wherever it is. It's very clever, and it's showing you the routes that these planes were, and they go like this, right, and then they turn. Some of them actually one of them actually shoots past Spain to fly over it, and then turns, and it's going back to the UK again. There's 1, 2. Let's have a look. I can count 1, 2, 3. I can count 5. I said 5. Did I say 5? I think I said 5 anyway, did I? No, maybe not. It says flights heading to Alicante from Glasgow, Manchester, Leeds and East Midlands were among those turned around this morning. A decision was made after Spanish authorities confirmed a 15-day state of emergency would begin today, after it became the second worst hit country in Europe from Italy. The government will now have wide-ranging powers from confining people and ordering evacuations. Spain has currently one of the worst outbreaks in the world, with more than 5,000 cases. We didn't know about that, did we? We heard of Italy and China and Iran, not Spain. Why is this the first we've heard about in Spain? I don't know. Jet2 said in a statement the measures have been introduced after Spain confirmed bars, restaurants and all shops would be closed. I mean, it's just... This is a science fiction film being played out, isn't it? Don't you think? It's a science fiction film being played out among all of us. Happening now. I can't. I just don't believe it. It's just. It's difficult to sit here and believe it. It really is until it's on your doorstep. That's when you start believing it. Yeah, I don't know. Right, let's read some of your messages then this morning. Just a moment, please, my darlings. Hello to Mark Bowles. Good morning, Mark. Welcome along to the show, young Mark Bowles. Hello to Mike Rees-Ponto. Mick Davenport is there. Hello to young Sean Pye. Thank you, Sean. I am feeling a bit better today. About 10% up. I'm about 10% up on yesterday. Yeah. And I swear the walk has done me good. I also went out walking last night. I thought I'd go just for a 20-minute walk down to the end of the road, sort of in a circle and come back. I kept extending it. And then when I got back, I thought I must have been out half an hour. Hour and a quarter. Hour and a quarter's walk I went out for last night. And it was nice. I enjoyed it. I felt so good to be out and walking around. And you're not among any. There's no one around. Don't really pass anyone out here. I have to say there's a pub near me called the Jolly Farmers. And I thought, well, I'll walk down to that and a little bit further to the swimming pool. Not open at 9 o'clock at night, of course. Walk down to the swimming pool. So I had to go past this pub. And that was ever so lively last night. I think they had some sort of 70s disco going on in there. It sounded like I could hear Earth, Wind and Fire and stuff like that blaring out the pub. Lads outside the pub, you know, smoking and drinking. It looked quite busy in there, actually. Yeah, I've never been in that pub myself. Good morning to Mandy Davenport. Morning. Hello to you. Let's see who else have we got. Good morning to Weird City Citizen. Good morning. Greetings. No, we're not this. If you see the mirror ball, you know I'm in Bracknell in Berkshire. All right. Hello to Steph Diamond. Morning, Steph. Fun things to do with tech. A very good morning to you, sir. Rowan Riley is in the house. Greetings, Colin Coates. John Aitken. Dr. Gregorian, who's in Armenia at the moment. Are you still with us, Dr. Gregorian? I do hope so, dear. Who else have we got here? Diane Jeb. Morning, Diane. Hello. Mikey and my Audi, they were nearly out of vegan burgers. We've got quite a lot in ours. The chicken ones are quite nice. Chicken vegan burgers. Have you had those with breadcrumbs? They're quite nice. Although I don't think I do them enough. I need to put them in the oven for a little bit longer. I tend to have those with chips or something like that. Morning to Mark Jones. He's got his fridge magnet this morning. Morning, Mark. Excellent. He won the raffle on Monday. Yeah, we're doing the raffle tickets, of course, a little bit later on, gang. John went to Lidl yesterday, which was a nightmare. Yeah, you need to be going late at night, actually. If you can change your day around a little bit, go late at night. Fairly empty late at night, you know. A divider, that's it. Thank you very much. The divider, that's the thing you put on the thing to divide up the shopping, isn't it? Yeah, I remember now. Hello to Kate Doody. Welcome to the show, Kate. Welcome to you, sweetheart. Piggy Malone in the house. Morning, Mr. Piggy. Long time no see. Hope you're well there. Tony King's there. Adrian Richardson. Morning. Andy. Hello, Andy. Andy comes to play. La, 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 la. Andy comes to play. La, 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 la. Andy Pandy. Oh, wonderful children's programmes. So much better than Teletubbies and Bananas in Pyjamas. I mean, what's all that about, dear? Proper children's entertainment. That's what we want. The Wooden Tops. Nothing. Or the Pogle's Wood. Who remembers Pogle's Wood? That was a good one. I think there were little characters that had been cut out of a newspaper. Pogle's Wood. I'm sure it's on YouTube. Pogle's Wood. Look, let me have a look for you, boys and girls. One moment, please. Pogle's Wood. Pogle's Wood. P-O-G... How do I spell it? Pogle's Wood. Oh, how do I get this now? Pogle's Wood. P-O-G... Pogle's Wood. Oh, yes. Yes, Pogle's Wood. 1966. Gosh. The Pogles. Oh, they're all on there. Pogles Part 3, the Honeybees. Oh, the Wooden Tops. It's all on there. Yeah, get your children sat in front of those. So much more interesting than the crap that they watch now. Thank you very much. It all went wrong with me when Finger Bobs came on. I didn't like Finger Bobs. Remember that one? That bloke with a beard. Finger Bobs. Finger Bobs. That one. And Bagpuss. I wasn't really into Bagpuss. No. Pogleswood I was into. Pogleswood. Let's just scroll down. Good morning to David in Hemel. Morning, young David. Sean's going to sleep now. Good night, Sean. Sleep well, my friend. It's just Rowan works in a hospital, not in direct care, but in administration. Everyone here is a bit freaked out. Well, I certainly am. Oh, I am absolutely freaked out. Really, I am. Hello to LaBelle. Good morning, LaBelle. I am an emerald-eyed hunk of He-Man of Magic. He-Man and... Hell, we've got to have echo for that. He-Man and Masters of the Universe. He-Man and Masters of the Universe. I love it. Here we are. Mike Reese. I know people in Torremolinos, Spain, have told me that all bars and restaurants have been forced to close at midnight for the next 2 weeks. Well, I don't know what difference a couple of hours is going to make. Probably none. Morning to Pete Freud. Good morning to you, sir. Mike Cullen. Hello, Mike. Welcome to the show, Mike. A pilot makes waypoints on their sat-navs, which is programs. Is that how you see the little things on there? Is it on the follow the plane display? Because you can get it on your mobile phone. I think it's called 24-hour radar or something like that, isn't it? That app on the mobile phone, and you can see where all the planes are. It's very good, very good. You wouldn't think they'd have something like that. I mean, what about terrorists? You know, they could be looking, particularly for like an American or a British plane, couldn't they? Terrorists could be looking, oh, there's one coming over now. Let's just fire a couple of missiles at that. You know, you wouldn't think or maybe in certain countries it doesn't work. Don't know how that works. But I would have thought that would be a fairly... You know, you wouldn't want terrorists to be knowing what planes are flying over, would you? When you think about it seriously, you wouldn't. Strange, really. Let's have a look. Pete, go to the William Twig pub. The William Twig pub. Is that in Great Hollands? Is it like a round place in Great Hollands next to the shopping centre, Pete? Where is the William Twig pub? I might be right there. Mark says, Chris, give me a bit of your chav accent. I need to cheering up. What do you mean chav accent? How rude. In it. How about this one, Mark? Look closely at the screen. Look closely at the screen, all right? Did that do it for you then? I've got this new app. Where is it now? TikTok videos. TikTok. Anyone got TikTok? And there's all sorts of wonderful stuff on there. Nothing lasts longer than about 20 seconds, half a minute. And there's lads on there who are very, very good at that. That they just look at the camera and they look at you in a way and think, you want me, don't you? And they look up and down like... They're very, very, very good at that. Sean remembers HR Puff and Stuff. Yeah. HR Puff and Stuff. That one. Wonderful children's programmes. Steph's going to watch it on YouTube. Yeah, please do. It's really old, Steph. Really old. And it's in black and white. It's in black and white. That's how old it is. We used to love that. Pogleswood. That was my favourite. It's not really talked about much at all. You don't never really hear about. Sometimes you hear about Trumpton or Camberwick Green, but I never ever heard anyone talking about Pogleswood. Never. Does anyone actually remember it? Anyone remember Battle Cat? Is that another children's programme? Battle Cat? I don't know that one. Good morning, Michael Pullman. Hello to you, young Michael. Mike Reese, Radar 24. Is that what it's called? Okay, so that's what it's called, Radar 24. That's a thing. Mick has upped the security on his shrine. He doesn't trust anyone. Oh, you'll be okay as long as you don't put toilet rolls in there, Mick. Great Hollands, I know the pub. Yes, I think I've walked past it a couple of times, but I haven't actually been in there. Is that? It looks like a bit of a rough old joint in there, was it? It's the sort of place that you'd find lads around the corner smoking those nasty cigarettes that stink horrible things. Oh, awful. Awful, Pete. I'm not bothered. I ain't bothered at all, Andy. That's it. Mark's smiling now. Yeah, Mark, I'll do another one for you. Ready? 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 Walks off to the side and hopes you follow. It's like being in chariots, it really is. Steph is really old as well. She's a 19... you're a 1969 baby. Well, that's not old, dear. 1963 is old. I do feel, since my little illness, we were not sure, I have no idea what it was. Since my little illness, which I seem to be coming out of now, I feel I've gone from middle-aged to old. I'm not sure about that. David in Hemel, who's with us today, he's been old for 40, 50, 60 years now. You know, and he keeps going, so there is hope for you all. Peter says it's a nasty place. Yeah, I can imagine that, actually. It's the position of it and everything, you know. I think you wouldn't want to park too far away from the door. That's assuming your car would still be outside that pub when you came out of there. No, I don't think I'd be going in that place, to be honest. So that's that. Let's have a look here. Oh, we've got an email from the church here. We got an email from the church. Now, you know I go to 2 churches. I play the organ at 2 churches. Mainly now in Roehampton. It has to be said I'm there 2-3 times a month. But the Wokingham one is the one I have been going to for the last 3 years. And I play there only once a month, once every 5 weeks. There's so many blooming organs there. Which actually I don't think that's necessarily a good thing, right? Because the congregation don't have any repetitiveness, if you see what I mean. They never know what's coming. Do you know what I mean? I think you've got to have a what's the word? Where something's the same all the time, at the same time, on the same day, with the same sort of thing. You know, what's that called? Subsistence? No. Oh, I can't remember what the word is now. Someone think of the word. Sean, 1965 for Sean. Oh, so you're quite close to me, aren't you, Sean? Andy, 1969. Mick, 1967. We're all around the same age, aren't we, really? Hate to say it, but I still look like I'm the oldest one here. How old is David? David, how old are you? 1970 for Mandy. Fran, we are all babies. We are all babies. We're all old. Do you know, I think I must have... I think I probably spent a lot of my time trying to attract the wrong crowd to this show. And eventually I found you. Eventually, didn't I? 1987, Michael Pullman. Well, Michael, why are you watching this? Because, like, you know, I'm like 87. What am I? Twice your age, 2.5 times your age. 1973 for Rowan. Why do you watch this, Michael? I would have thought you'd be more attracted to people sort of your own age watching it. Just as a matter of interest. You know, I'm not fishing here for compliments. Just a couple of words. I just wondered why, really. Rowan, 1973, is young as well. Pete Froud, 1968. Adrian Richardson, 1066. Well, I think we know that, darling. I think we know that. Eh? 1960 for Mike Reese. Oh, so you're older than me, Mike. Are you really? Good God, I wouldn't have said that. I really wouldn't have said that. David's the same age as Tony Blair. I don't think so, mate. Please, either that or you recovered from an incredibly bad illness. One of the two. LaBelle, 1977. There's the youngest person here. LaBelle, 1977. Oh no, that was Michael, wasn't it? We've got some old rough ones here today, haven't we? Anyway, let's go to this this message here. Yeah, I go to the one in Wokingham. That's my main church. But there's no consistencies. That's the word I'm looking for. There's no consistency because there are so many people playing the organ at 11 o'clock on a Sunday. And I'm not saying that one is better than the other. I'm not choosing one person here. But there is no consistency, and we all play differently. We all play differently. Now, take me, for example. I probably play the loudest and the fastest. That's just how I do it, okay? Other people will play slower, other people will play incredibly slow. And when I'm at a mass or something like that, I find it really difficult when everything is going at like 1 mile an hour. And believe me, sometimes it does. It drags. But as I say, I probably play the loudest and the fastest. So I think there's 5 of us all together, and every week it's someone different. Now, I don't think that's good for the mass, because the people down there, they don't know if they're going to be singing fast, slow, whether it's going to be loud or quiet. Which way are they going to... But the introductions will all be different. We all play a slightly different introduction, to each thing. And sometimes I'll throw in a little bit in between each verse for him, And I don't think it's necessarily a good thing. But that's just how it is. It's just how it is. Anyway, so we've got this email from the church today. Coronavirus update. And it says from Canon, because it's been upgraded now. Canon Simon has been upgraded from Father Simon to Canon Simon. It's been upgraded here, just like a Borg. It says, with the move from containment to delay phase, hymn books and mass books have now been withdrawn. Look at this. In addition to the removal of Holy Communion from the chalice, refraining from touching at the sign of peace, that's when we shake each other's hands, and the main collection being taken at the end of Mass rather than halfway through it. Hymn sheets are being produced for both Sunday morning Masses with sufficient for 1 per person. Please return these to the porch on leaving so that they can be disposed of safely. Wow. All refreshments after Masses are suspended until further notice. No tea! No tea and biscuits, dear! How can we... So what's the point of going? Well, I shouldn't say that. I said, where is that bolt of lightning? I'm sure some people just go to church for the tea and biscuits afterwards. I never forget once, she's not with us today, but Vectis and who was it now? Vectis and Shania. I think Callum as well. They're a family on the Isle of Wight that I know very well. They turned up at the church, come to tea time, and I only had like 20 quid on us or something like that. So Vectis ended up paying. And he goes on and on about it. Oh, I had to pay for the tea. But it's not so much a price, it's more of a donation. But people in that church tend to have a little bit of cash. They're all from Wokingham, so they're not short of a few quid. Anyway, it goes on. No tea. No tea. If you have a cold or develop a cough, please do not come to Mass and follow the instructions. For those unable to attend Mass, if you've got access to the internet, you can watch them. And it gives, not from our church, but from Portsmouth Cathedral. Portsmouth Catholic Cathedral, so it's got a link there where you can actually watch the Mass from home rather than actually turn up, which is a good idea. So we've got no books now. They've taken all the books away. Blimey, it just gets worse and worse, doesn't it, really? It just gets worse and worse there. Let's have a look there. Did I just see Gary? Where are we now? Adrian was in... Steph says Adrian was in the Battle of Hastings. If you saw him, Steph, you'd actually realise that was the case, because his face has been completely ruined from being battered quite a lot. As you can see. He's got a battered-looking face. So he must have been in the Battle of Hastings, I reckon. If only he'd used that little shield in front of him like that, instead of as a plate for all the food that he eats. Might have worked out a bit better. But there you go. Not everyone likes to look after their face. As you can see, I'm eternally useful. I am the Peter Pan of the television industry. Philip Schofield can only dream of looking as good as this. He may have the cash. And he may be on ITV. Is he on the BBC? No. Not on the BBC, dear. Not Philip Schofield. He was. He left them, dear. For lucrative money contract. Don't always go for the money, Philip, lovey. Me? Regular appearances on BBC's Lincolnshire and BBC Berkshire. Philip Schofield, only on ITV. Oh, well. That's just how it is. Good morning to Gary Reese-Ponto as well. Good morning to you. Where's the Chotes in Wokingham? Begins with M. Name of the road begins with M. Corpus Christi, Wokingham. Look it up. Corpus Christi, Wokingham. Bum, 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 bum. When did you see that, Sean? When Fran was at school, she didn't have history lessons, just current affairs. Hit him, Mandy. Mandy, we need pain and suffering for Sean Pye, which is very surprising because he used to be head of security on this channel. There you go. Some pain and suffering for Sean Pye there. Talking about our lovely Fran like that. How rude you are, dear. Michael watches it for the entertainment and the humour, and I feel old just like you. Well, you don't look it, Michael. That's the trouble with Australians, though. You've got that sun blaring down on you all the time. Do you think you're going to look like this at 57? Don't know, really, Michael. I've got a cousin in Australia. Oh, he looks old, dear. He's very high up in the police. I love my cousin. He's just brilliant. Very close to him, actually. Where are we now? Very good, David. If you get promoted to Canon, is it easier to get fired? Very funny. Very funny. Oh, Andy's signed up to the new BritBox. As he heard all the BBC content's been removed from Netflix, but I'm not sold on it. I don't think it'll go past the free trial. Yeah, you and everyone else, Andy. You and everyone else. Apparently, the take-up after the free trial is not good. I did read the story out some while ago. Just a minute. Let me see if I can find it for you. There's an article. Oh, I hate The Guardian. Can't stand The Guardian. No, can't find it. Oh, here we are. Is it? It's Daily Mail. That's all right then. Here we go. I've read this. I've already read this once. Not today. Here we are. BritBox, the new. This was a couple of weeks ago. BritBox, the new. Honestly, there's so many adverts flash up on this blooming Daily Mail thing. BritBox, the new subscription service launched by the BBC and ITV, is struggling to hold on to viewers once its free 1 month trial has ended, according to research. It's only £6, which is cheap. But you know, you say that's cheap. You start subscribing to all these others, and you see how it's adding up. $9.99 for Netflix, $5.99 for that. The Apple TV thing, you got the Sky thing. You start signing up for all of them. That's a small fortune. It really is. It says the $5.99 service, which launched last year, offers 283 box sets and claims to have a larger UK collection than rivals, including Amazon and Netflix. However, only 1.5% of respondents to a survey said they were paying BritBox's subscription after the 30-day free trial finished. That's low. So people are getting the free introduction thing and then cancelling after, except for 1.5%. That's so low. It says the actual subscriber and viewing figures are not yet known yet, as BritBox is too early. So whether or not that'll survive, I don't know, because the BBC did have another thing, didn't they? They had BBC, was it called Show or something like that, where you could buy certain things. Well, they closed that because no one bought anything, or very few people bought anything. The idea was you bought, I don't know, TV series, Merlin, for, I don't know, 20 quid or something like that. And once you'd paid that, you could watch it whenever you want for the rest of your life. Well, they closed it. They closed that down. I had to refund everyone's money. Not working too well there. I mean, there's too many of them now. You make your selection. I mean, I've got Netflix and Amazon Prime. I've only got Amazon Prime because I get the parcel. I ordered quite a lot of stuff off Amazon. If I'm buying anything, it tends to come from Amazon now. I can't be bothered to go to all this shopping, terrible experiences in shopping and places like that. So I tend to buy it, and that's why I got the Prime thing, because I found, well, if you order just 2 things a month, then it's paid for. So that's the only reason I've got that. So expensive, all these things. Mikey Mike's thinking of cancelling his Netflix. He's going to get rid of his. Yeah. Thank you, Mandy. You have been punished now. You have been punished. Sky's put their stuff up $3.95 a month. Yeah, they're probably due to sports and all that. There's just stupid money being thrown at these football people and what have you. Ridiculous amounts of money, and that's why you have to keep putting the subscription up. It just keeps going up and up, and it will continue to go up and up until people stop paying it. When enough people leave, then the prices will come down. Right. Okie doke. What else have we got here? One thing I watched last night, I've got to tell you, 24 Hours in A&E. I think it was on 4E or one of those things. 4E. I can't remember which side it was on now, to be honest. One second here. Where are we now? Where is it? Yes, 4. That was it. 24 Hours in A&E. I think it was an old one. Oh my God, it was hilarious. It was absolutely hilarious. That's one of those shows that will make you either smile or cry. Usually you have a little bit of a cry at the end. The programme usually finishes off and it tells you what happens to the various people that have been on it. And right at the end, there'll be someone that died. Usually. Okay, so you need your tissues hanging next to you. But this particular programme had these 2 children and their mother on there. I was absolutely howling with laughter. And there was a little boy who'd got some sort of fever. And he's laying on this hospital bed and they're in like a cubicle which was curtained off. Lots of cubicles with curtains going around them. And the mum's fussing over him. And then when the mum goes away, the little girl, the boy is about 4 years old. The little girl is probably a little bit older than him. She didn't look 5, but we'll say 5. So say she's 5, he's 4. He's the ill one. He's laying on the hospital bed. And the mum's fussing over him. And then the mum turns her back and the little girl comes over. She puts her hand on his forehead to check his temperature and all this business. And the mum's telling him what to do and all this. And the little girl's watching all this. And then the mum has to go out and find a nurse or something. I can't remember why. So she says, all right, you behave while you're here. Okay, then. So as the mum disappears through these curtains, the little girl goes to the curtains and stands by them. And you can see her watching mum to wait until she's out of the way. Well, the moment the mother's out of the way, she becomes Miss Bossy Boots. It was hilarious. She comes back in and she points at the little boy who's moved around a bit. Don't get out of that bed. Do not get out. This is girl, look, 5 years old. Don't get out of that bed. You mustn't get out of that bed. Come on. And she goes over and starts pulling his legs back onto the bed, this poor little boy. It's so funny. And then she goes round the side and she picks up, because of course all the instruments are there. Not scalpels, not something you'd cut yourself with, but there's a few things. And she picks up this thing, looks like a thermometer thing or something with a light on the end of it, possibly look in your ears. And she picked this thing and pushes something, and the light comes on, and she's looking at this light like this and starts shining it in the little boy's eyes. This must be to check your eyes. Like, she's just always going like this. Poor little boy. So funny. And then she starts taking this thing apart. She's unscrewing bits and putting them on there. This is hospital equipment here. Anyway, the mother comes back. And now she's found a little sample bottle, for wee. And she's opened this bottle and she's blowing across it, trying to make it make noise. This is a sterile bottle, this is blowing across it. And she's, Mum, what is this for? Oh, no, that's for samples. Give us it back here because you'll put infections in it before he uses it. Oh, what's it for, Mum? It's for him when he wants to go a wee. All right. And so she has a little think about it. And the mum's doing something in the corner. She goes to this little boy. Right. She said, if you want a wee, you have to go in here. And this little boy, this little boy's looking at this thing. He said, why have I got in and got in there? And she goes, well, if you want a wee, you've got to go in there. And he says, well, what if it gets to the top? It only goes to there. She says, you've got to go to that little line there. And he says, well, what if it goes over the top? Oh, well, you just pour it away, she said. And anyway, they're mucking around with this thing, and he takes it off her, and he screws it, and she grabs it back off him. She says, right then, do you want to go to wee then? Do you want to go wee now? He's like, no. It was absolutely hilarious. These two children. Aren't they funny children? They're really fun. Children are so funny. The way, and you can see that, like, there are pauses where their little brains are ticking over trying to work something out. Great nephew George was a bit like this with me a little while ago. It was a Facebook thing, FaceTime call it was, and they were talking about girlfriends and boyfriends and things like that. And I think George, great nephew George, he's 7. He said something like, "Chris needs a wife," and Emily, who's I think she was 5 or 6 at the time. She says, no, he doesn't. He needs a husband. And George says, no, he doesn't. He needs a wife. And children work things out for themselves. You don't have to tell them anything. They work things out for themselves. And little Emily, she said, no, he doesn't. He needs, and when Emily speaks, you listen. You don't muck around with great niece Emily. She's a bit scary. She's beautiful. She is beautiful, Emily, my great niece. She's got lovely long hair now. And no, he doesn't. He needs a wife, a husband. And I think George says to my nieces, "Doesn't Chris need a wife?" No, he needs a husband. And then it was all very silent. And you could see George, his little face is like trying to work things out in his head. Absolutely. Children are hilarious when you see them trying to work something out in their heads. But that was a wonderful little thing on there. I don't know how you'd watch it again, but that was 24 hours in A&E with those two little children. Really, it made me feel so happy that last night, watching them both doing all these just stupid children thing that they do. And then I had my tissues ready. And there was a particular old lady in this as well. I think she was 92 from Welsh Wales, from the Valley. She's from Welsh Wales. It sounded like she'd had a little bit of a hard life. Her mother rejected her and all this, so we're hearing all the story. And she's in that Welsh accent, am I going to die? Am I going to die today? And the nurse says, we don't think so. We don't want you to die today. She says, well, what about a couple of days' time? And the nurse says, well, we don't want you to die in a couple of days' time. She said, because I'd rather know, I want to sort things out. No, we don't think you're going to die in a couple of days' time. And then that's it. At the end of the show, the credits are rolling and it's telling you what's happening to these people. And I had my tissues ready. My tissues are ready. The little boy got over his fever and went home. Someone else, this, that and the other. Someone else. And then it came to the old lady from Wales. And I thought, here we go. I've got my tissue. My tissue was, this is a used tissue incident. The tissue is standing by, right? And Lady 92, she went in with this line, and she went home 2 days later and is enjoying a holiday. And so, I mean, I'm not being nasty, but I was a bit disappointed no one died. Didn't have a good cry on that one. We like to have a cry at the end. You can't. Isn't that an awful thing to say? I was expecting something awful at the end and it didn't happen. Happy days, I suppose, especially for the lady, bless her heart. So that was my evening last night. As I say, I went out for a long walk last night. It was going to be half an hour. 20 minutes. I was going to go out for 20 minutes. And it ended up, the walk actually was about an hour and a quarter in the end. Come back in, I looked at the clock, it's 10:30. I thought, blimey, you went out at 9:15. I wasn't walking particularly fast, just walking. And it does make you feel better, moving. You've got to be moving all the time. I really think that. Okay, let's just read some of your messages on there. There isn't any sport for at least 3 weeks. Are you a sports person? Are you? You see, I'm not a sports person. I mean, if you're a young football person who goes to matches, you must be very poor. I know my younger nephew, I think he still does it. He used to go to all the Chelsea matches and he used to get the train. And by the time you've been out on a Saturday, you say goodbye to 200 quid. It's very expensive to go to football and all that. Steph, you're absolutely right. The best days is when there are only 3 TV channels. I think you're absolutely right. That's right. Fun things to do with tech has Amazon only. 24 only is really good. Do you ever watch a programme called Sandylands? No. I don't have Gold. Or I don't think I have. It's not on Freeview, is it, Gold? I've only got the free stuff. The only subscription I've got is Netflix and Amazon Prime. I don't have any Sky or anything like that. So I've just got I've got free Sat and Freeview. Sandylands was made in Weston-super-Mare. Oh, went to a Pontins there. Sand Bay it was called. Pontins in Weston-super-Mare. Sand Bay. That was the first Pontins we ever went to. Yeah, we liked Pontins holidays. They were great value for money. They were great value. They're putting the coronavirus into Holby this week, are they? Yeah, they're pretty good at doing that, actually, on Holby. And Casualty. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some sort of mention in Casualty tonight about that as well. Wouldn't be surprised. Live chat has disappeared. No, it hasn't. It's there. Something wrong at your end, David. Something wrong at your end. Good afternoon to Adam the Plumber. Morning, Adam. Chatting to each other. Good. There we are. Right, let's do a couple of stories then. As I say, my refund from Disney looks like it's on its way now from a company called Magic Breaks. I highly recommend them because, as I say, there's been a couple of breaks right at the beginning of the show. There's been a couple of problems with this holiday. None of them my fault, or none of them the fault of the company, actually. And they've sorted them both out incredibly well, I think. Really, really impressed with a company called Magic Breaks. So if you're going to Eurodisney, perhaps when this terrible mess is sorted, if it can be sorted, I don't know if they're going to be able to sort this anytime soon. But if they do, and you want to go on a Disney and you're in the UK, have a look at Magic Breaks. Magic Breaks, very good company. There's a story today in the Daily Mirror, and it says a guest at the resort in Paris shared video footage of the deserted theme park. As it was revealed, they'll be shutting down rides from tomorrow. So all the Disneys are closing from tomorrow. That's it. Closed. And it shows the park. This bloke's uploaded a video. Almost completely empty amid the coronavirus outbreak. Now, I've got to say, the video he's done, it's only of the hotel. I think it's the Cheyenne Hotel, by the looks of it. Let me just see if I can just play this a little bit. I can't play you the sound because it'll be copied. But yeah, that's the Cheyenne. That's the Cheyenne Hotel. Yeah, that's the one. And I've stayed there. I've stayed there myself. And I went once in March. And it was, I've got to be honest, it doesn't look that different than it did then. It wasn't busy when I went a few years ago in March. Wasn't that busy then. But it says the theme park, which announced it will be shut from tomorrow, has been deserted by tourists fearful of catching the virus. I mean, makes sense, doesn't it, not to go to these places? This bloke says it was like a Wild West movie. I expected some tumbleweeds to roll on by. We had a walk around the hotel complex. There were literally 3 other guests walking around. It was eerie. Disney Paris announced on Friday that the park is closing its doors from Sunday until the end of March, although its hotels will remain open. Why on earth you'd want to stay in a Disney hotel when there's no park open, I do not know. That just doesn't make sense. Unless it's cheaper for them to keep it all sort of open than it is to close it down completely. I don't know. I mean, they must be losing millions of pounds. Millions. There haven't been any parades or illuminations. They were cancelled a couple of days ago. We've been able to go on more rides as the queues have been very short. The magic is still here. The cast members are still being amazing to make everything as magical as they can. So they're all closed. I mean, then there's a picture of the hotel. The hotels look empty. Gosh. If you hold a reservation at a Disney hotel for arrivals until the 1st of June, we have waived all modification cancellation fees until April the 15th. And still it gets worse. And it will get worse. More and more worse. I shouldn't worry about timeouts, Mick. I wouldn't worry too much about timeouts. You just say what you want, and I'll try and pick out the interesting bits for other people. You carry on posting as much as you want. That was only a joke, you know that, don't you? Huh? I will only time out people I know who can take the joke. All right. I think Fran's talking to Mick there. Magic breaks may make your refund disappear by magic. I doubt that. I doubt that. It's all in the process of coming back to me. So that's good news. And as I say, hopefully, and it is hopefully nothing is definite to happen. We have no idea what's happening one day to the next. And yet you haven't had to hear Brexit mentioned once now, have you? Not once. We've moved on to something even worse. God, I can't get over it. Something so small has completely disrupted the entire globe. I can't believe it. The Pontins in Weston-super-Mare is now called Sand Bay Holiday Village. Oh, I didn't know that. Didn't know that. Is this? I've still got the chalets and that, I would assume. Oh, chalets were now. They were a little bit musty when you went in there. I know, quite warm with their electric heating and all that, weren't they? Pontins. Yeah, if I remember rightly, in Pontins, I think we used to have. Now, did we have electricity meters? No, I don't think we did. I think it was all included at the time. You just paid your amount of money and everything was included, electricity and the lot. Adam's just come back from shopping for a new engagement ring. Is going up 2 ring sizes. He turns to me, I think I put weight on. No, Sherlock. Oh, it's going to cost you more in a ring, dear. The more gold. Tell him to lose some weight and save yourself 20 or 30 quid, dear, on a ring. Mark hopes they don't cancel his holiday to Tenerife in May, but it's probably going to happen. I don't think this is not going to go away anytime soon, Mark. No. This is here for a very long time. I do wonder if life will ever return back to what we haven't changed too much yet. I could still get in my car and go to London if I want, or even catch a train. Will I? No, I won't. Not unless I absolutely have to. I'm terrified by all this business. Terrified by it. But again, like I've been saying a couple of times, you know, at one end of the scale you've got people dying. At the other end of the scale you've got people who seem to just have a sore throat and a running nose. Maybe that's what I had the last couple of days. The complete and total lack of energy in my body. And the aches and pains which I've had. Maybe I had that. In a way, I hope I did. Then I won't get it again, probably, you know. Anyway. So that's it. Now, Meghan Markle. Meghan Markle. Yes, your favourite person, isn't it? Mick's going to be living on cupcakes and freshly made bread. Nothing wrong with that. Oh, I haven't got my bread machine anymore. Gave it to my niece. I must order one immediately from Amazon. Oh, homemade bread. Oh, God. It's absolutely deadly if you want to lose weight. Adam, I tell you. Adam, I tell you. Your mic is low today. So you've let me talk for an hour and 10 minutes before you've told me that. I'm not turning it up now. Unlucky, mate. Why have you left that for an hour and 10 minutes to tell me that the mic is low? Oh, God. Yeah, Meghan Markle, your favourite girl, yeah? Well, I think there's something in this. This is in The Sun this morning, and it says she's held a series of meetings with TV agents as she plots a return to acting this autumn. The Sun Online can reveal the Duchess of Sussex has spoken to a number of entertainment agents from her new base in Vancouver Island. Sources say Meghan, who will formally step away from her royal duties at the end of this month. I thought that had already happened. No? Hang on, what's the date of this? 14th of March. I thought she'd already done that. Anyway, it says she'd love to return to the screen before the end of the year. Meghan has set herself a target of around September or October, a friend said. At the moment, she's loving spending time with Archie and settling into her new life with Harry back home in Canada. But Meghan remains hugely ambitious and is very open-minded to return to acting, which is what she knows, loves and does best. Her preference is to explore the route of a documentary in which she's able to follow up some of the causes she's interested in. This wish has been the focus of some of her most recent meetings and will likely shape the kind of work the agent Meghan goes with seeks to get for her. She's very excited to do this. And the story tells you a little bit more apart from that. And I do wonder if this was something to do with them sort of coming out of the royal life. Because, of course, I don't suppose you can really have a royal appearing in some sort of situation comedy or documentary or anything like that. Although Charles has done a couple, hasn't he? He's done a couple of documentaries, Charles, hasn't he? Like on the environment and that sort of thing. But if she wanted to be an actress in perhaps, I don't know, something like Dallas or something like that, then no, that really wouldn't be appropriate, I suppose, would it? When you think about it. Maybe there's something in there that she wanted. I think actors, musicians, people doing this sort of thing, to have to step away from it and go and do something else. I think it's difficult. If you're like how would I put it? Like a showman or a showwoman. You know, if that's what you do, I think it's a very difficult thing to step away from. I really do. You know, I don't really need to be going to London and doing my job really anymore. I haven't done for a few years now, but it's in me to carry on doing it. Do you know what I mean? And I wonder if there's anything going on like that in her head. You know, look, I really want to be doing acting again. Interesting. That might be part of the reason that you know, all these people on the stage and that. Rod Stewart, I know, Rod Stewart, Shirley Bassey, Bananarama, but Barry Manilow. They don't need the money. Of course they don't. They need to be doing it. It's like a drug, I suppose. Need to be doing it. I need to be sitting here doing this. If there's one person watching, I'll still be here. Don't worry. You know, you need to be sitting there or doing the particular type of show type thing that you do, whether it be sitting on BBC One doing a chat show or hosting a karaoke night or DJing somewhere or singing in a very small pub to a little audience of people. You are a show person, and and it's something that you need to be doing. And I think there's part of that in there. I'm sure there is there. I see Mick's trying to sell my stuff already. Who wants my tat if I die? It won't be worth anything, Mick. If you've bought my, you haven't got a black hat. You haven't got a hat yet, have you, Mick? If you've bought my stuff in the hope that it will increase in value one day, I think you're a little bit delusional, to be honest. Oh dear. Oh, the sandbaits. Is it adults only, 50 plus? Oh no, they're very dodgy, those 50 plus adults only things, Mandy. There's a lot of that swapping going on there, dear. I bet there's all pampas grass outside some of the chalets as well, as there. There's a lot of that swapping stuff goes on at those places. I won't be involved in anything like that. Thank you very much. You know, poor older gay man, you know, just going back from the ballroom or something like that, opens his doors only to find a small note pushed under the door. Please come to Chalet 265. No, I'm not having any of that. I won't be going to that one. Those over 50s, adults only holidays are the worst. You've been to Ibiza or Ayia Napa, you haven't seen nothing until you've been to Sand Bay with the over 50s. Make me laugh, dear, these kids. Say that they're having a wonderful time in Ayia Napa. Ibiza Uncovered. What's the other place that they all go to? Isn't there another place as well? Not Torremolinos, that's for the over 50s, as you can see from the people that here that go. Let me just come back up here. Adrian had really bad flu. Did you have it? I don't know. You see, you don't know, Adrian, do you? You won't know. It's the same for me, Adrian. We won't know unless we go out. If we are surrounded by people, we see you don't know who's got it and who hasn't. No idea. I think people should be stamped. They should. You know those hot branding things that they do with cattle, where they put a mark on your head or something like that. That's what you want on there. You know, I've had or I've got something like that on your head. You won't know, Adrian, unless you're going out when it's at its peak, when there's like loads and loads and loads of people infected, which I very much doubt anyway, because I think they're going to close all the pubs. I do think they're going to. The financially, it's just, I don't know where that's going to end up. There's an awful lot of pubs on the edge, as you well know. They're closed left, right, and centre. These pubs. It's all very well saying. People often complain about pubs, you know, that it's because of the price of the drink and all that. Well, of course, it's the price of the drink. You know, that is part of it. But the reason those drinks are so... It's not the greedy landlords, not of the pub. It's the greedy people who own the pubs and business rates and all this, that and the other. That's why your pint of lager is so dear. You know... Well, you know, Adrian, you were one. You were a landlord. You know what I mean. I'm fully aware of business rates. They have to pay out for this and this and this and this. And, of course, if you're tied to a brewery, oh, dear. I know some of you who run pubs. Might be one or two of you who run pubs. I know you've got secret places where you buy other beer from. I know that. From other places I've worked in before in my time. There was one particular place, I will absolutely not tell you who it was, one particular place, and he had a room with all locks on it, and he used to go out, he called it his contraband room, and he'd have in there barrels of lager that he'd bought from, what are those places? Cash and carry. Bottles of spirits, and he'd try and use those. And then when he knew there was a visit coming from an area manager, he'd put all the stuff back in the cupboard and lock it up. Can we go in this cupboard? Oh, I can't find the key. It's not been open for years. He had a rusty old chain on it to make it look like the cupboard was or hadn't been open for years. Yeah, but that's the only way they can stay open. They can't afford it. So, you know, it's an awful lot of people going to lose their job. And it can go right down the line, you see. So, for example, now take a landlord like me. I'm a landlord. Okay, so take a landlord. You think, oh, landlords, they won't be affected. They can just sit in their houses and do nothing and watch the money come in. But what if the person who's renting your property works on the airlines and has just lost their job? They can't pay the rent then. Then you don't get the money. Not only that, that person who works on the airlines used to stop at a shop on the way there, along with all his mates at perhaps a local bakery and get a couple of sandwiches. Well, they won't be going there anymore. That will affect them. This is going to affect an awful lot of people. There's going to be a lot of people really struggling during and after this. If there is an after. As I say, I think life is going to change dramatically for all of us, and we don't know what's going to change and how long it's going to be for and whether or not it will always be like that afterwards. It's frightening, absolutely frightening. Oh, Mick, you're so... What an evil thing to put, Mick. My finger is now hovering over your three dots. What is that it says there? Put user in timeout. No, I'm not going to go along those lines today. Mandy! Yeah, Mick Davenport being vile towards Barry Manilow, please. Thank you so much, my darling. Thank you, Mandy. If you could deal with that for me. I don't need to deal with anything. Mandy's there. Mandy deals with all of that. She's wonderful, Mandy. Fran was in Tesco's the other day. All bread making flour gone now. Stupid stocking up. It'll be thrown out because it's out of date. Yeah, that's the trouble with flour, isn't it? I've come across that before. It was only one packet of flour, but it was well out of date, and I thought, oh, it'd be all right. And then someone said, no, if flour's out of date, quite far out of date, throw it away. Apparently, you can get little things living in it. Is that right? Does anyone know about that? You can get, is it weevils or something? Weevils. That's a good word. Weevils. I like that word. Weevils. I think you can get things living in the flour, or they come alive, or something. So perhaps someone knows anything about. Fran, I know about that. Tell me about that, Fran. Mick's got 5 kilos of bread mix It will all be used, Fran. Bootlegging rolls and bread. He's going to start selling bread, Mick, on eBay. £5 a loaf to start with, gradually increasing as the shortage of flour gets worse and worse. Weird City, the BBC will snap you up soon. I see them scouting you, please. Well, I keep sending in little clips from my shows to both BBC's Lincolnshire and BBC's Berkshire because I live in two different places. So that they had to think about that, and they kind of said, yeah, that's okay then, you know. So I do send in little clips to them now and again, and they still play them out, as you probably see if I often put a little post on my Facebook or something like that. All right. Where are we there? Oh, my... okay. Right. Let's have a look. No more karaoke fun. I'm so sad. I haven't decided yet, Mick. I haven't decided what to do about that yet. You know I've been thinking about that. I'm off karaoke now. Today I wasn't going into DJing because that was because of my illness. Monday it was already sorted as off because I was supposed to be going to Paris. That's not happening now. So you'll have Wayne there Monday, okay? Which takes us around to Friday, and I'm trying to seriously think about whether I should go in or not. You had a bloke there last night. I gathered it was quite busy there last night. Dave is his name. I know he used to do the karaoke at Molly Moggs. And he sent me a little message. He couldn't get something working, so I helped him, and it was all working. It was quite busy in there last night because we've got the students in there, you see. The students coming on a Friday night, and they're indestructible, aren't they? Or they think they are. Students were in there, so that was a good night last night. I'm trying to decide whether or not to go in because I really don't want to get this virus. It frightens the life out of me. Absolutely frightens. Really does. So, but I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet. I can't leave it too long because that's unfair to the venue. And the venue completely are knowing what I'm thinking. They already know that I'm thinking along these lines. So we'll have to see. All right. Magaluf, that's another place, David. Yes, Magaluf. Also known as, well, I can't really say it. Magaluf, Ibiza and Ayia Napa. That's where all the kids go, innit? I think they're having a good time. Not until... Anyone been to one of these over 50s holidays? On cruises and things like that? It all goes on there, dear. It all goes worse. 100 times worse than Magaluf. An over 50s holiday. They don't know the half of it, do they? You know what I mean, ladies and gentlemen? And it's funny, you don't know how much fun they're all having until you get to that age. You think it's all over at 30, don't you? No. Mandy thinks it would be right up my street a holiday like that. Oh, I don't know about that. Testing kits. What's the point, Mick? What's the point in sending out a testing kit to everyone? Well, there's no point. Why? Oh, let's have a... Yeah. Yep, you've got it. Right. So now what? No point in knowing. No point in knowing, really, I don't think. Adrian, you are right. Very expensive to run a bar or a late night venue. I mean, it really is. One of the things that they have to pay for is a late licence in most areas as well. So if you want to open past 11 o'clock, they want more money. And it's the councils. It's the blooming councils and the government. They take more and more and more from these businesses. It's ridiculous. I think Camden Council is particularly bad. Camden and Islington. You know, and then you pay all this money and then someone down the road complains you're making too much noise. Bloke from the council straight there with his microphone and starts moaning. It's awful. I wouldn't want to run a bar. People have often said to me, why don't you run a bar? Well, I tell you, I think I could do it quite well. I really do. My main thing would be customer service. I would want bar staff to smile and talk as a person to every single customer that came in there. I'd want clean tables and I would want people to be served like that. Do not go and talk to... Oh, excuse me, I've just got to serve someone. Right, okay, that's good. You know, if someone is handing out £10, get that £10 off them as quickly as possible and give them a good service. I'd be really hot on that. And anyone who didn't would be just straight out the door. I'd pay them well. I wouldn't be paying them minimum wage. If I could afford to pay more, I'd be paying them well for that. I want you to smile and be happy. And if you're depressed in any way, shape or form, please don't come to work, because that will also affect the pub. You'll have 10 wonderful happy bar staff and one miserable one who mucks it up for everyone else. I wouldn't have any of that. They would be made to be happy, and if you're not happy when you come in, don't come to work, please. That's the job. It requires you to be happy and courteous to every single customer that comes in there. Absolutely. Where I would fall down is trying to chuck people out when they're too drunk, or people being caught doing blooming drugs in toilets and that sort of thing. I'd have trouble. I'd have to get a doorman to do that, you see. I couldn't do it myself. I don't think I could do that. But customers, if I saw a bar staff and they didn't treat someone with respect, assuming, of course, that the bar staff had been treated with respect, because there's plenty of that going on as well, you know. Rude customers to bar staff. I mean, rude to the highest degree. I wouldn't have any of that either. What are you saying to my bar staff? Go on, get out. Straight out. Straight out. Civility. That's what we want, civility. Thank you, Mandy's dealt out the pain and suffering there. Oh dear. Just trying to scroll down there. I think I missed a few out there. That's right. There we go. That's better. Franz bought some flour from Tesco's. It had weevils. I knew it was weevils. Little things in it. Oh, weevils. Can you not eat them? Can't you just smash them into the flour and continue to cook? Weevils. I knew it was something like that. So it had weevils, little things. Took it back and she said it's quite common in flour and pasta. Particularly, I suppose, as it gets older. Maybe there's like eggs in the flour and they just after a certain period of time they just hatch out. I think what we need to do is buy some flour now and just leave it until the weevils appear. Shall we do that? I'll put a little camera in the top or something like that. Huh? Don't know. Mick's recommended I don't go in. Yeah. Well, it's a thought. You should get your own club. Sean, no, not worth the hassle. Again, nightclubs closing down left, right and centre. There are so many rules and restrictions. You've got all these drugs to deal with coming in from nasty people. And then I'm sure there will be some people that got old guns to your head and say, give me your money and all this business while you're cashing up at the end of the night. That's assuming that cash remains for much longer. I can't see cash hanging around for much longer either, to be honest. Mark would be my doorman. I couldn't have you on the door, Mark. Not having your little bitty face damaged, my love. I can't have viewers on the door. Your pretty little faces might get damaged. Can't have that, dear. Can't afford to lose viewers. I've only got 30 million as it is now. God's sake. Piggy. Had to take down my Ant and Dex Saturday night takeaway poster for a ticket on the plane to Florida. They cancelled the flights on the show now. Oh dear. It gets worse and worse, doesn't it? Just gets worse and worse. Let's do another story here. Gemma Collins is ready for the lockdown in today's Daily Mail. Gemma Collins has taken to Instagram to reveal she was stockpiling groceries amid the coronavirus outbreak. She's stockpiling groceries. Proving that stocks are still stocking the shelves, she put on some plastic gloves to hit up her local Marks and Spencer to make sure she was ready in case she did need to self-isolate. Gemma's video started from the comfort of her car as she and her pal put on some gloves as they were taking no chances. I mean, what has she got on in this thing? She said, "We are being sensible. I've called upon this girl can organise. I didn't want to get caught up in all of it. We went to get some food shopping. We're taking no chances. The message I want to get across is everyone starts being sensible, doing what the government are saying." And she's got a stack of toilet rolls in there. In a blooming thing there. Is that her? Oh no, that's her friend. Blimey. Her friend looks better than she does. Well, that's hardly surprising, is it? She looks quite ordinary. Where's this going? Wearing the gloves, using the gel, washing your hands and keeping your distance from anyone with cough or flu. Gemma then headed to M&S to tell viewers, we have helped her out no end. She said, this is trolley number 2. How many toilet rolls? 7 packets and a bottle of Malbec? What the hell is Malbec? I don't know what that is. I've totally crumbled today. I've caved in. The staff here have been sensational. They felt the panic in me. I can't thank you enough. They've gone above and beyond in every way. She must be after, like, doing some sort of advert for Marks and Spencer. Please, Marks and Spencer, do not get Gemma Collins to do your Christmas advert, assuming we're all still here. Oh God, can you just imagine? I've got that thought. Do you know what thought I've got in my head now? I've got Gemma Collins on a sleigh in a Santa outfit. That's not the problem. I've got a picture of 10 reindeers, almost at death's door while they're trying to pull along that great big fat thing. Awful. Those poor reindeer. It's not right, is it? Oh, God's sake. Anyway, Gemma's done her panic buying there, hasn't she? Mandy, the thing is, the whole country's grinding to a halt at the mere mention of the thing, so why not have testing kits so you can know for sure if you've got it? Well, yeah, there is that, of course. I'd like to know if I have had it over the last couple of days, to be honest. Don't know, see? Don't know. And I'm sure I heard once that if you have a virus in your body, another one can't survive in it. Is that right? Anyone know the answer to that one? Can you have like more than one virus in your body at any one time? I don't know how that works. Mark, don't worry about the face. It's the other people's you want to worry about. Oh, don't tell me that. That's made me quite hot, that has. Oh, I like the sound of that, Mick. We like a little bit of violence, Mark. Piggy Malone, it's okay, Gemma's saying, get gel for your hands. It's finding the stuff, yeah. Have they got it in Marks and Spencer's now then? Gel. They haven't, have they? Have they got Marks and... Can you order it off Amazon now or not? Let's have a look. Hand what's it called? Hand sanitizer. There we are. Hand sanitizer. Let's see. See, it's got to be a certain type, hasn't it? Well, it's £9.80. Oh, hang on a minute. It's for 2 packs. They got £2.99, £2.59, £4.99, £8.95. Different types. £4.99, £1.98. Has it got to be with so much alcohol? Is it Alco? Oh, here's one. 70% alcohol. £4.99. Is that... I've never bought the stuff. No, that's a lie. I have bought it before. I hated it. I just can't stand that stickiness on your hands. Can't bear it. £5.83, £4.99, £3.34. These are all on Amazon. 75% alcohol hand sanitizer, £5.99. Is that good? I mean, how much is it normally? £2.74. There's one here, 75% alcohol, £6.99. I don't know. What one you'd buy, really. As I say, I'm not keen on that stuff. Really not. I prefer to go soak in water. Yeah, nice, preferably that, the push thing down. Pushing a little bit comes out and do that, lovely. And I do it. I go up my wrists. I've been washing my hands so much that all my hands have that, and the fact I used 2 hot water. I scalded my hands the other day. That was at work last Monday. The water was so hot and it scalded the tops of my hands. It's all rough on there. But just doing it like that and singing your happy birthday twice, I quite like it. And then you just wash them off afterwards. Lovely. Oh, it's 1:45. What's the time? 1:45? How did it get to that late? Mick's got the £4 one. His hands aren't sticky. Uh, sorry, Mandy. I would get Checky with Gemma Collins. Oh, you wouldn't. Oh, come on, Sean. Surely not. She's looking for a boyfriend. I don't know, waste of space she hangs around with at the moment. Arj. I mean, what does he do? I've got £1 million in the back. Yeah, and? There's a lot of people who've got a lot of money in the bank and just have nothing to offer. How is that even possible? Antibacterial hand gel, that's the one. David might catch it from the Amazon delivery person. Well, stop inviting them in then, you dirty git. And David orders stuff and he gets workmen round to his house just to get them in the house. And then he appears at the door in, like, you know, a white dressing gown, which accidentally falls open as the lad comes in and drops something on the floor. Oh, I'm sorry. I know your sort. My mum told me about people like you, David. And hopefully I'll meet one of them at some point. Gardex, is that your one? Does that sound about right? £4 for something like that? Huh? It sounds, I don't know how much it would have been before. I'm going to do one more story and then we'll do the raffle tickets. Here's the story. Iceland. Iceland store has sent Twitter wild after declaring it will no longer be accepting money that's been in shoppers' mouths, bras, or shoes. Now, why would you want to keep your money in one of these places? I can't believe someone would be at a checkout and then that's £10, please, and then would fish into their bra and pull out a £10 note. That is just gross. Especially if you're a gay bloke on the till. It's absolute. I mean, the girls who like girls would love it. And the boys who like girls would love it too. Probably get a phone number as well, ladies, if you wanted to. I think it's absolutely gross doing that. That's £10, please. Oh, just a moment. Nah, not acceptable. What's the other thing they do? Bras, mouths. Oh, that's another one. Mouths. You know, how much is that, mate? How much is that, mate? Okay, there you go. Oh my God, that's just come from the post office. How awful. It's a poster they put up. An Iceland store shared a handwritten sign with its customers detailing the new rules. A snap of the poster was shared online, and since lots of people have watched it, it comes as a number of confirmed cases, and it goes on. And the sign says, due to the nationwide corona scare, we won't be accepting any money that has currently been in people's mouths, bras, or shoes. Thank you, Iceland staff. Mark would like that, wouldn't you, Mark? Mark, you'd like to be sitting on a till and this thing comes along, blonde hair, 25 years old, very well developed here. That's £10, please. There you go. But what would you do with that £10, Mark? What would you do with that £10? I ask you that now. The tweet was quickly inundated with comments, with social medias finding the notice highly amusing, as I have done. One person says, is there new technology now that can tell you if a fiver was previously stored in a bra? Oh, no, I can't be having any of that. Thank you very much. Right, you ready for your raffle tickets then? Who wants a raffle ticket? Please speak now. David keeps in his underpants. Oh, please, David, you got no money. I know you've got no money, otherwise you'd be buying more than half a pint a night. Piggy Malone, you'd be surprised. Loads in Birmingham that keep their money in bras. I didn't know that. Oh, no, thank you, Mick. Oh, I feel physically sick now after him saying that. Dear me. I can't remember, Mick. Are you in a wheelchair or your wife? Is one of you in a wheelchair? I can't remember now. Tony King, okay. Tony, you're first up there. 892 for Tony. Thank you, Tony. I'm going for a walk after this. Tony King, 892. Michael Pullman, 893. John Aitken, 894. Mandy, 895. Ooh, forgot you to put your surname on there. 895. That was Mandy there. 896 for lovely Diane. Colin Coates, 897. Adrian, 898. Are you out tonight, Adrian? I'm not there tonight. They've got cabaret on. There people under the bar staff or the manager working the sound tonight. Steph, 899. And Fran, you get 900. Fran gets the 900. Sean, 901. LaBelle gets 902. Sean McDavenport, 903. Piggy Malone, 904. Weird City, 905. Mark Bowles, 906. Mandy's got 2 legs and she uses them. Okay. No one's in a wheelchair then. Fair enough. David, 907. Right. Mick can walk. He's like DJ Chris. I've got a stick for show. It comes. He knows where all the cameras are with the DHSS watching. You know. Comes that stick when he comes out the tube station to do his sign in a bit of paper, mate. Just like yourself. One of my friends had a Stanner stair lift installed. There's nothing wrong with him, just so that it looks good when they come round and check him out. Do you know there are people that do that, you know? Hello, Ross. 908 for Ross. Okay, if I've missed anyone out, please speak now, my loves. All right. Righty-ho, let's do today's birthdays. Happy birthday on this Saturday, the 14th of March 2020, to Charlie Rowling. Good morning, Charlie. Happy birthday to you. Nice to see you, Charlie boy. Tom Clark. Is it always that my Tom? Is that Toilet Tom? I'm sure it is. Toilet Tom is in the house, in the house, in the house. Toilet Tom is in the house. Toilet Tom is in the house. Hello, Tom. Worked with him at Belushi's in London Bridge. It's such a nice bloke. I'd like to see him again at some point. Are you married yet, Tom? Oh, where's my birthdays gone? My birthdays have all disappeared. How strange and mysterious. Oh, hang on. Oh, there they are. Back. Yeah, Tom today, 25 years old, aren't you today, Tom? Happy birthday. It must be 4 or 5 years since I last saw you now. I hope your life's going well for you, Tom. It was always a pleasure to work with you. All right, Tom Clark, 25 years old today. Gerry Cashmore-Smith, good morning. 61 today. Christine Franklin, good morning, Christine. Now, are you one of our Manilo ladies? I think you might be. I'm not sure if you are. No, maybe not. Christine Franklin. Happy birthday to Christine. Kevin Hurst today is 53 years old. Chloe Witt. Hello, Chloe. She's reached the big 18 up in Woodall Spa. Morning, Chloe. Happy birthday to you. And Ollie Bell, who's a DJ. Or he was a DJ. I don't know if he's still doing DJing now. He was big on the scene in London. Today he is 39 years old. So happy birthday to you, boys and girls. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Twice, coronavirus. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. All right. Rest of the day, well, after the show, I'm going for a bit of a walk, just down to the shops and back. There's nothing I want. Probably won't go into the shop. Oh, no, actually, I think I'll probably walk up to my mate's house. He's not there at the moment. He's on holiday at the moment in Dubai. I'm not going in his house or anything. It's just a route that I kind of do. Or I could go in the other direction. I don't know yet. I'll go out for a walk this afternoon and probably a walk tonight as well because I'm not at work tonight either. And yeah, that's what I'll do. I'm not really that hungry. I'm not particularly hungry at the moment. That's one thing I've noticed. That's happened the last couple of days. I'm not really that hungry at the moment. Mind you, I've been eating a few crisps and things like that. Oh, you've got to have a little bit of ice cream to make you feel a little better like that. All right. As I say, I'm not sure about the bingo. Did I see Amelia pop up there? I saw Amelia. There's Amelia. Good morning to you, Amelia. Morning, Amelia. Asking about the bingo there. I don't think there'll be bingo tomorrow night. It was already cancelled anyway, as you know, because I should have been going to London. My niece and the family are going to be in London tomorrow. That's where I was supposed to be meeting them, and we were staying at a hotel, two hotels. Well, not 2 rooms in 2 hotels. 2 rooms in a hotel, and I think what they're going to do is use that. They're going to use that room, so we haven't lost all the money. I can't get the room back on my hotel money back on my hotel room, unfortunately. But I think they're going to go down tomorrow there, and then go and do some museums and that in London. And I suggested that perhaps I could still come down and take them out for a meal. You know, like Five Guys, because they won't be. I don't think they've been to a Five Guys before. Bit expensive, but you know, it's only once in a while, isn't it? And besides, they're my lovely nieces and my great nieces and great nephews, and I haven't seen George and Emily and James and Tracy, and of course the husband as well, for some time now. So I'd like to go and do that tomorrow if possible. Oh, she's just about to answer now. If you wait, I'll tell you if there's bingo tomorrow or not. One moment, please. No, it was already cancelled, Mark. It was already cancelled, that, because I should have been in London. Come on, give us an answer. I'm waiting to go here, Trace. Come on, give me the answer. So you can see, you know, that little dots come up when they're typing a message. Oh, come on, Trace. Where are you, my love? Waiting for the message to appear. Let's have a little bit of music while I'm waiting for that, I think. Oh, hang on. Oh, yeah, she's answered now. Where's my other music? Hang on a minute. Oh, that's the end music, isn't it? I was thinking of kind of having this playing underneath me in future, a little bit like this. You know, when we're doing the end of the show. So I'm going to try this out to see how this works today, all right? So we'll just sort of bring this up a little bit. That's not too loud, is it? Can you still hear me above the music? Looks like you can. So nice and low. You can have that low while I'm doing my closing speech. I feel like Donald Trump here, but with a better hairdo, don't you think? No bingo, dear. Yes, well, I think that's going to happen. So, no, still no bingo tomorrow. Okay. However, the raffle that was cancelled will be on. The raffle that was cancelled on Monday will now still be on, as will a show on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I think I'm over the worst of this now. I certainly feel a hell of a lot better than I have been doing so. So I'm clearly over the worst of this now. So there we are. Copyright-free music. That's what. Well, it's not copyright-free music. This actually, David. This is music. There's a company called Epics. Oh, what are they called? Epic Sounds or something like that. And you pay them £10 a month. And for that, they have a vast selection of music, all different genres. They have songs with voice singing, you know, like Justin Bieber type song, you know, like someone singing songs. They have music, all the sound effects, and that all comes from this company. You see? And that's what I use now. Anyway, thanks for joining us, boys and girls. I'll see you again probably on Monday, maybe tomorrow, or definitely on Monday morning. All right, gang, enjoy the rest of your Saturday, and I'll see you very soon. Bye-bye now.